Hey guys, Snupy here. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the changes to Feral Druid that have come out like the past few weeks. There's been a few builds where there has been changes, and I'm going to cover them all. And also just go over like literally everything that's changing from BFA to Shadowlands. But starting off, I'm going to go over like the recent stuff. So first of all, we got a nerf to, or a change to the Fearsome Symmetry legendary. So before, this one would give you 3 comp points the next finishing move after using Fury. But now it gives you 2 comp points the next 2 finishing moves after using Tiger's Free. So this kind of changes like the bite build. You might have seen my videos where I go around double biting people and you can literally one-shot in the opener. This is a slight nerf to that kind of playstyle. Take a sip of water. And the reason is now, or before, you would go Rake, Grip, Fury, and Berserk, and then Frenzy, and then get 5 comp points, and then Bite, and then instantly get 5 more comp points and Bite again. The reason is you get 2 comp points from Berserk, because Berserk has been changed to being an actual like ability now, which is nice, and then 3 from the Legendary. But now there's only 2 from the Legendary. You do a... Okay, Berserk's on cooldown, so we're going to wait a bit there. So you do a 5 comp bite, and then you only get 4 comp points. So I'm going to skip ahead now and show you it. Okay, Berserk's on cooldown. So now what you do is you open up, Rake, Grip, Fury, Berserk, and then you Frenzy, Bite, and now instead of getting 5, you get 4. So now you have to supply it with a Shred, and then Bite again, Shred, Bite again, and Shred, and then 4, and then, yeah, now you can slash for Shred again. And then you can pretty much just spam bites anyways. It's just not like the back-to-back bites, which makes it a bit like less bursty. But it's still a lot of damage in a short amount of time. So I still think this is like the best pick for Arena, as far as I know. I'm actually going to talk about it like probably in a different video more. But there are 2 builds you can do. You can either do like a bite build or a bleed build. And there is a different legendary that is really good for the bleed build. But from what I've played, the bite build is superior. And... is better overall. Because even with the bite build, you can still do like a lot of bleed damage. But with the bleed build, you can't really get that burst damage. So you kind of lose it by playing bleed build, but you don't lose the other part when you play bite build. As much at least. So yeah, that was a change to the legendary. Now there's a change to Ferocious Wound on the most recent build. So it's a nerf. It's a slight nerf. So instead of giving you 10% HP reduction, stacking up to 2 times, 2 bites, it's now 5%, stacking up to 3 times. So it's 20, from 20% to 15% HP reduction. Definitely a nerf, but it's pretty easy to kind of get up. It does not take too long. And once it's up, you can pretty much maintain it. It's like, it lasts for 30 seconds, so... it's fairly easy to maintain on the target unless you're getting hard CC'd. But yeah, this is definitely like a slight nerf. But it's nothing huge. Nothing very impactful. While the legendary nerf or change is more of a change and not a nerf, I'd say. But yeah, there's one more thing to a conduit called Taste for Blood, where instead of giving you 3% more bite damage per bleed, it's now 2% more bite damage per bleed. This is, you know, it's a 1% nerf on the conduit. Overall, still, like, I think probably the best conduit. Thrash, Rake, Rip, and even Frenzy counts as bleeds. So, you know, 8% more damage on bites when you're frenzying. So it's really good. Small nerf, but nothing huge. And comparing all these like these 2 small nerfs to the 5% buff, like overall, we got I believe 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. It's like very, very minor. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. Feral's still looking really, really strong, and yeah, these things right here don't have a big impact at all. Like, I can't really feel them either when I'm playing on the beta. It almost just feels like, yeah, like we're the exact same thing. Most like notable thing is like the wound nerf, because you need 3 bites now, but even that is like very, very small. While the legend nerf or change just I keep saying nerf, but yeah, I think it's more of a change. It's different, but it's still really good in just like a different way. So there are those, and now I'm gonna go into more like the general changes of Feral. Like I touched on earlier, we got Berserk, which has been changed quite a bit. It is now like an actual very, very strong cooldown. In BFA, Berserk didn't really do much at all. It was more of a like a bait cooldown. You use it and it didn't do any damage. But now it gives you 2 comp points back every 5 comp point bite or rip or any finisher move. And Shred does damage as if you were stealthed. So spamming Shred and then getting a lot of comp points, you get 2 to 3 comp points per Shred. And then biting and then doing it again is insane. Especially mixed with the legendary. So Berserk is now a very, very good cooldown. And yeah, now, so yeah, Shred gives you comp points as if you're, now, as if you were stealthed. No, an additional comp point if you are stealthed, and Berserk counts as stealth, so that kind of ties into Berserk again. Blood Talents got redesigned. Blood Talents seems okay to me. It's not bad. It's a bit clunky though. Put it on now. So what is now? I believe the next 3 finish. Yeah, the next 3 comp point generators. Within 4 seconds, they have to be different. The next 2 rips or bites, damage is increased by 30%. So you can go, you know, like rake, slash, shred, and then you get it. And then you can apply the rip, build it up again, and then bite. It's fine. I think in arena, it seems a bit clunky still to me. But I think it's going to be like a very viable talent, depending on what kind of build you want to do. For the affinities, yeah, Balance gives Typhoon, Wrestle gives Vortex, and Guardian gives Incap. This hard word. Incap Roar, I'm just going to say. I think Wrestle affinity is pretty much like the clear pick here for the majority of comps. While Guardian is so super nice into rogues, into things that are going to train you hard as a Feral, I'd say Guardian probably still is the move. For Heart of Wild, we have, it's on the same row as Bash. And yeah, okay, it's where Typhoon used to be. So if you want Typhoon, I gotta go Balance Affinity. But I think, yeah, Typhoon is not the move ever. But yeah, so Heart of Wild, good talent. It's a shame it's on the same row as Bash, because Bash is a very, very crucial ability to have. To set up CC, score kills, or just peel. I do think in certain comps, in like double DPS, or maybe if you play with like a classic and do all the stunts for the setup, then Heart is fine. But I think Bash is overall the move. There's a legendary that gives you Heart of the Wild for 10 seconds on a 1 minute cooldown every time you leave a form and enter casting form. Then you can kind of get Bash and Heart, which might be a very good combo. And yeah, when it comes to like survival, we have or surviving defensives. Instead of having 2 walls now, we have 1 wall on a 3 minute cooldown, but we also get skin. I think defensive wise, we're probably pretty equal to how we were in BFA. You can die through skin, but I think with good pre-bearing, like if you can pre-bear kidney and skin, maybe even Iron Fur, as Iron Fur now is baseline too, it's super nice. And always having like a safety net, being able to use a defensive while you're stunned, which skin can, is super, super huge. And definitely like a very nice thing to have. Yeah, Survival Instincts, it's a 3 minute cooldown. I wish it was 2. And I wish we had 2 stacks still, but I think 2 stacks of this and skin will be kind of broken. So I'm very, very satisfied with the Feral, like, defensive-wise. It feels like just fine. And then, yeah, for Sabretooth, we got a pretty big nerf. It's probably like the biggest nerf to Feral. Was the change to Sabretooth, where instead of giving you... instead of giving you 4 seconds per comp point, it's now 1 second per comp point spent. When you bite on the rip. So it pretty much is, it's not a dead talent, but the second part is kind of dead. The first part is the bite damage, and that's the big part. So when you have Berserk, you can kind of get away with it. You can do a, rake, rip, and then okay, I'm playing Blood Talents now, so I can't do it. But yeah, with that Berserk, you can kind of keep it going, barely 5-6 remaining. You know, fight again. But with no Berserk, it's gonna fade if you do from 1. So in general, I recommend doing a 5 compound rip now, and then like maintaining it with bites, and just reapplying when you have to. If you want to bleed 2 targets now, it's a bit more tough, and you just gotta pretty much just keep maintaining like a 5 combo rip and just reapplying it with actual rip instead of biting, which is fine. It's different, but it's fine. All right, so there are the changes to Feral Druid for Shadowlands. I'll probably keep updating this or like making new videos if like significant changes come. I'd say that like this one, the most significant change that happened now was the one to Fearsome Symmetry from like the past weeks of the new builds. While of course like the big changes happened way before with the sabretooth nerf and the blood talents change. But yeah, overall, Feral's looking insane. I think it's going to be really strong, and these small nerfs don't really matter too much considering the 5% buff we just got, and just like the nature of the nerfs, that they're very insignificant. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on my stream or on YouTube. Take it easy. Bye bye.